Let's go outside. We need to talk. Well, I hope you're having a nice holiday weekend. It's just Thanksgiving in the United States. And I know people watch from all over. So I want to just hope you're having a nice weekend too. I saw something today that really hit me. And I thought we could talk about it. Let's head on over to my new sitting area. Well, hey there, I'm Kaye on my homestead in Tennessee. Welcome to my channel where I am attempting to build a sustainable homestead on a little over 9 acres. I just needed to get outside. I've been kind of cooped up for a few days cleaning my house. My brother came yesterday briefly to help me out, and sister-in-law just to say hi. And so I haven't really been out at all, but I saw this, I guess it was a TikTok video this morning. I'm not on that app and I don't recommend that app. Well, just imagine, if you will, this scenario. You live in an apartment building. Maybe it's a high-rise apartment building, many stories, 10 stories, 7 stories. What difference does it make, you know? And a fire breaks out. And just imagine that you are not able to leave your apartment, to escape. Now, we've seen these, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Towering Inferno, but that was one of the first disaster movies. Towering Inferno made a big impression, and the Poseidon Adventure, and a few of those were the first big disaster type movies that everybody really focused on. And just imagine that you're just locked in, like in prison. You know, but just imagine being in prison and the jail catching on fire. That's kind of the way it is in certain cities in China right now. I don't know which cities currently are locked down, but you know, one person gets the virus and then they lock down millions of people, and it's incredible. It's truly incredible. And this person, I don't know how he got this video out, because the videos coming out of China are tightly controlled, but he was just talking to the camera and saying that he's in a city that's locked down, which means you cannot leave your apartment. So they deliver everything. Delivery people can be out, but not the people that live in the building. So you're locked down and there's an apartment fire and you can't leave your apartment. And what happened that night was the people rose up. The people are so powerful. In that case, the people rose up and protested not being able to be let out. And he was sitting there telling the story, so obviously his apartment didn't burn and he's fine. So I don't know what all transpired during that, but his point was, he said, in my lifetime, he said, the people have not protested in his country since 1989. And he said that was before I was born. And he got choked up and he said, I have never seen this happen in my country, that the people rose up and protested, because they are so accustomed to doing exactly what they are told. So just imagine being in that scenario. Yes, we experience lockdown, you know, to a certain degree in our country and other countries, but nothing compared to that. And I have a follower, faithful follower that I hear from Trinidad and Tobago, and she was saying during the lockdown they were very strict, but she had her garden. She could go outside and go into her garden, and it gave her so much strength and inspiration and release, just being cooped up and knowing that you're locked in or that you're locked up or you're locked down is they say that the effects all told of all of this, the lockdown is going to be worse than any of the rest of it. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm just reporting on something that really touched me, because I don't know if you remember Tiananmen Square, but where I'm sure you've seen it, where the single young man stood in front of the tank and protested, and you know what happened, but that's just one of those iconic images that you know that you've seen and you'll never forget. Just like the little girl who's naked, running in a Vietnamese girl who's running away from the napalm in Vietnam, just screaming. Those images are seared into our soul, our being, and war is hell. And we are at war. That's what a lot of people don't realize. We are at war. We're in, people are calling it different things. The fourth industrial revolution, the fourth industrial complex. I don't know what the current words are, but we are in some time where, what does freedom mean to you? Are you free? Do you feel free? Can you run out of the building if there's a fire? Are you able to do that? Are you able to get out? Obviously, in a tall high rise, if there's a fire, that even if you're not locked down, there's a problem getting out of that situation. But to know that they won't let you out if you could get out, what does that do to your mental psyche? So anyway, I just had to get out, Now many people live in apartments. I was one of them. I lived in apartments for at least half of the last 45 years. So I can't even imagine having a guard there saying, no, you can't leave if there's a fire, or you can't leave for any reason, I can't imagine that. So I just want you to focus on, what is your freedom worth? Where do you draw the line? I did a video on where do you draw the line back months ago. I did a video on the CBDC when people weren't really talking about it much. I did that 2 months ago, and now you hear it every single day. So our government has summoned, I guess you'd say, 10 banks, or they have 10 banks that are studying how this is going to work in our country. I always thought the American people are never going to let this happen here. But it's going to happen if we don't rise up in protest, I guess. I don't know. Obviously we have to keep using cash. I've talked about that. And I just wanted to also to address that, because we haven't chatted in a while, that I did a video called Imminent Collapse. I was trying to get attention, and it did get attention. And the three main topics in that was that new legislation in Illinois, and that went through. That's going to happen in January 1st. The no cash bail, but also the train strike, which was temporarily averted, but that hasn't gone away. They're not all happy and satisfied, and they're all going to go back to work. They're still working, but they've just pushed that off for, the deadline off for a while. So that's still something to do with the trains possibly striking is still going to happen coming up in 2 weeks in December. Yeah, just think about, what if I couldn't go out and go for a walk? You know? I mean, that was the first thing they did in California, was close the beaches. Now, don't forget, you get vitamin D from the sun. Where are you going to get sun? If you're going to get sun anywhere, it's going to be at the beach, right? If you really wanted your citizens to stay healthy, you would encourage them to go to the beach, not lock the beaches down. So obviously, it wasn't about, keeping us safe and healthy. We know that. So it's clear by now. But studies have just come out that 30% of people who died would have survived had they had healthy levels of vitamin D in their system, and no one was talking about vitamin supplementation. Why is that? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because they can't patent the healthy benefits of nature. They can't patent it. They can't make money on it. So they're going to only recommend what they can make money on. Now, my brother was here yesterday, and he was fighting a cold, and I said, are you doubling down on your vitamin C? And well, I mean, if I had a cold, I would be tripling down or quadrupling down on vitamin C, because I'm sure you know that vitamin C just goes right through your system. It does its healthy work, and then it goes out in the urine. It doesn't stick around to build up and cause problems like too much vitamin A or something like that. And so he said, well, I take a multivitamin that has C in it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's fine. But, that's like for a balanced maintenance, a daily maintenance. When your immune system is low, you need to be able to unlock your vitamin C, unleash your vitamin C, and not have it trapped inside of a multivitamin, so that you can take more of that one thing, because not all vitamins go out, wash out of the body. The rest of them, as far as I know, don't. So you want to be able to take your vitamin C separately, so that you can bulk up on that, load up on that when your immune system is down. So vitamin C, vitamin D, get out, exercise. If we could get some sun, no sun today. The whole this is sort of like it was, we had a little bit of sun yesterday. And then the day before, when I did the sun oven, of course, the whole afternoon was completely sucked over. So it's hard to know. It's hard to predict, when we're going to have sun. So I may have some news about a trip coming up to visit someone that many of you know and love, or follow, I should say. And I really appreciate you following my channel. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you subscribe and stick around, come back. I have a lot of content about gardening. All my California gardening is basically small space gardening, container gardening, how to find the sun, rain capture. Those were the issues I was really focused on out there, because it didn't rain the entire summer growing season. It did not rain. So if you wanted any rainwater on your garden, you had to collect it, in the spring and the fall. So you can find all of that on my channel, plus all that I have done here to try to make this place better, just improve it in various ways, fix things. There's much to consider. Plus, I wanted a fire pit. I mean, come on. This is a perfect place for a fire pit. I've got all the seats. I could have 20 people sitting around a campfire right here tonight if I just had a fire pit. So hopefully I can get some of these things done and bring you a lot more fun content. But for today, just the word is freedom. What does freedom mean to you? how much is it worth? What are you willing to do to hang on to some of it? You know, we've lost a lot, but we certainly don't want to find ourselves in a position where we're locked in a building which is on fire, and we can't run out. So with that note, I bless you for the weekend, and I hope that I see you back here soon. God bless, and I'll see you next time.